What up, YouTube? It's your boy Fatal J, back like I left something, and I'm glad you're here. And today I'm going to do something absolutely different from my channel. I usually do Snyderverse stuff, but right now we're gonna get into some Reddit stuff because I stay on Reddit all the time, man. I get some good laughs out of that when I'm bored, man. If you look deep into Reddit long enough, you will find the secrets of life on there, man. I'm just telling you, I always have a blast reading Reddit leaks, and it's one Reddit subreddit I always stay into that always have me laughing. It's Rslash ChoosingBeggars, and it's just basically about people who go beyond when it comes to begging. You know them people out there when they beg and have stipulations when it comes to the begging. This is that subreddit right here making fun of them. Let's get into it right here. Let's check out this one. We got the OP, West Coast CDN 19. He says, this is not a babysitting job. And this comes from another subreddit, askreddit. And it says, people who quit their jobs on the first day, what was your I'm out of here moment? And this is what it says. I answered an ad for a babysitting job. I was already working on a casual basis, but it was sporadic, so I thought some after hours babysitting would be welcome extra cash. The people were both in the military and proceeded to tell me that I would be staying in a spare room and looking after their 7-month-old child around the clock, as well as doing the housework. I would have one day off every 2 weeks. They said it's cash in hand so I could sign onto the dole unemployment benefit. To make up the rest of the money, I left on the spot. They wanted a live-in housemaid, and nanny, not a babysitter, and they were not able to pay for one. Why they thought it was up to me to illegally collect the dole to subsidize them, I don't know. First off, I want to say this before we get into the comments of this. One day off, they wanted a slave. And why do you need somebody taking care of your baby that much that you don't know? A total stranger. Let's get into it. This is what Mary E.B. said. I know this isn't that thread, but it reminds me of when I started a job as an overnight stock boy at a grocery store at 18 years old. I could only work 4 days a week, college and all, and they said that's fine. 4 hours into my shift, they said that's not going to work. Need you for 6 days a week. Then an hour later, my fellow employees all gathered around to do coke. Cue me being the one kid from Mean Girls, mom, can you come pick me up? I'm scared. They was doing coke, bro. Hopefully he talking about the soda, the Coca-Cola. Let's get into it. Is it possible to still make money as a stock boy at a grocery store if you have to buy coke for every shift? I don't know. It must have been really itty coke, laugh out loud. I know very little about coke, but I thought it was a relative expensive narcotic. That's why I asked. It's not expensive to start on coke, but it really gets expensive to keep taking coke. It goes from half a gram on a special occasion to these grams a day to stay awake very quickly. You can be doing 3-figure sums a day very quickly. Oh my gosh. These guys are actually going in, speaking about this narcotic. Let's continue. Yep, that was me. Well, actually, it was pills, then I switched to heroin. I was working full-time and also finishing my master's. So I then started using Coca-Cola to even myself out from the heroin. And also Xanax, for good measure. Did I mention I also lived in Manhattan? I won't get into what my rent was a month, but by the time I entered into rehab, I had a $550 a day habit. Fun times. I've been clean now for almost 10 years. Sometimes I miss it, but I only miss the first time using. After that, it kind of goes to ish. Kudos to you, sir. Glad you got off of that stuff. And I'm also glad that you broke that down for everybody to understand. I mean, this guy right here really broke it down about doing Coca-Cola. I thought we were supposed to be talking about the babysitter girl, but let's continue. I work at a mental health hospital. We have patients all the time with stories like yours. But the biggest thing I always cannot understand is, how do you possibly afford this? Patients come in with daily spending that far exceeds just what I make before taxes are taken out. I have a stable job, 40 to 50 hours a week, and cover my costs just fine. I can splurge an extra 100 to 200 a check on something nice like a new game or an oil change. Just baffles my mind how people have that cash to blow. Said he was a college student, so my guess is wealthy families giving blank check allowances. Obey One says, my friend once sent me a video of him snorting half a gram of this insanely high quality Coca-Cola in one freaking line. $100 up the nose in 3 seconds. I don't really get the appeal unless you're extra rich. Ultra rich. And finally, we have a delicious sandwich. That's the name of the person on Reddit, a Redditor. And they basically got on top and let's see what they say. Thought this was going to turn into a horror story of them wanting a live-in girlfriend for a second, live-in girlfriend for a second. A delicious sandwich. I thought the exact same thing, my friend. Let's continue. I'm sure that was on the schedule for day 2. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Especially wearing the maid suit. You know what that was going to go into. You know what that was going to go into with the maid and all that stuff, being a nanny. Day 2, it would have got crucial, trust me. Day 3, she would have had the chains on. Day 4, they would have introduced her to the dungeon, the hidden dungeon that don't nobody know about. Let's continue. After spending 10 years in the Rangers, some of the ish people that are owed to them because they go to work is outstanding. Edit. And the weird sex live-in girlfriend wasn't far off to your point. Every week has some nightmare fuel with this ish. Kind of insanity. Love the time in, but the people could be insane. When my ex was active duty, he worked with a guy who had a wife and 2 live-in sex slaves. I met them once and their general demeanor sets off immediate alarm bells in my head. I'm sure their relationship with him started as consensual, but I got the impression that he had abused and manipulated them into submission. They will only speak with his permission, and he even took one into another room and slapped her for giggling like an idiot. The OIC got wind of this living situation, but the only consequence he faced was being kicked out to military housing. Whoa. I think they can only do so much in regards to what people do in the bedroom. Sure, and that's fine. I don't care about the polygamy aspect of that situation. I do care about the abuse, and I feel the chain of command had a responsibility to address that. Those women may not have been legal dependents, but they were people being harmed by an active duty service member. I have seen situations where soldiers were forced to move into the barracks because their home life was considered unstable, and that option could have been exercised to prevent further harm. Every time, and this is why I love Reddit, every time you go deeper into the subreddit, into the topic, it gets more crazier. And I love Reddit for that. Reddit is almost on the level of the dark web. Some people consider it dark web. Let's continue in the same subreddit topic that started off being about a babysitter. And let's go deeper into the topic and see what else people are talking about. I got hired for what we advertised as a 4-day, 10-hour shift forklift job. On the first day, I walk into the team meeting and the department manager says, since it's your first day and you don't have to work 12 hours, I stopped her right there and tell her I accepted a 410 job. She informs me that Lyft drivers are working mandatory 6 days, 12 hours for the foreseeable future because the company also understaffed due to the beer virus. I told her I have no need or desire to work 30 plus hours of mandatory OT for any company at any rate, so thanks but no thanks, and I walked out. FedEx just delivered my check for 11 hours of orientation and training. Nobody said a word about the mandatory OT until we got to the floor. They usually do that I have had job applications. I had sit downs with the people who was trying to tell me about the job, and they always do that. They always give you these horrible work hours, these work hours where you never get weekends off. You work 48 hours a day, and it's only 24 hours a week. You know how the game go. Let's continue. One question I always ask in interviews is how much retired overtime is the team and I'll be joined currently working, and how much on average either I get a chirpy. We rarely do overtime here, and it's often planned in advance for X, Y, or Z. They will often list a few occasions over the past year that happened and why, or an angry explanation how overtime is a daily occurrence and expected, and how some employees just will not do it. If you want more Reddit videos from your boy Fatal J, let me know in the comments, and make sure to like and make sure to subscribe if you like the Reddit videos, because I'm not going to only just do r/ChoosingBeggars. I'm going to go even deeper into the crazier things out there already, just for you, just for your entertainment. Make sure to get back at your boy Fatal J, and I'm out of here. Ninja Babies!
Yo, 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 yo.